Hello. Today we are going to discuss the power of flows and try to design a new flow which can take multiple different authentication methods. And no matter which authentication method does the user use, merge all the different paths into the same user. Let's start by creating a new flow. Let's call this flow OTP social passkeys. These are the three different methods we will use. Let's start the flow by first adding a new screen, which will be our login screen. As we mentioned, we're going to have the social methods. So let's drop Google, Facebook, and Apple for now. Let's put them in a container. Let's add a divider and add other authentication methods, which will be phone number as the login identifier. And then in addition to the phone number being the login identifier, we will need just a button to continue logging with an OTP. Let's call it one-time password. Let's add a passkeys button in addition to complete passkeys. Let's design this also inside a container. It looks better. And that's our login screen. Very straightforward. You can style the screen with a lot of different styling options here, either in styles, or you can actually go ahead and adjust certain border radius and few other properties like shadow, etc., even on the screen. Let's start by a simple connection here. We will start. The next step is to go ahead and add actions. So we have three different authentication methods, as you can see. So we'll drop in the three different logins. Let's start with Auth, which connects right here. Let's add passkeys. So let's actually and the third method being OTP, and which is as we took a phone number, sign up or sign in with OTP goes here. So that's authentication paths very clearly. Let's align these better. This is quite straightforward when it comes to setting up the login. There's a quick walkthrough here. The default verify OTP, we actually have set and use a different number or choose a different authentication and screens like those, which can loop back. So that's another capability in the flows that you can use. Now that we have these methods set up, let's add a few more things like merging identities, taking a phone number. So in case the user logs in with social login, let's actually ask the user to provide a phone number in case the phone number is not provided. So we'll add a condition, which is to check if phone is verified. So here, phone verified, user phone verified is true, phone not verified. So this is a block to check the phone verified or not. In case the phone is verified, we want to just continue to the end and log the user in. And in case the phone is not verified, then we will need to take the phone number. If the phone is not verified, we want to take phone as an input and then verify the phone. So add a new screen to take the phone input, because in this case, the phone input is not there. So we take phone, add a button, verify phone. And this connects to phone not verified. If the phone is verified, you can go ahead and log the user in. Now, if the phone number is not verified, we need to verify the phone number which we have collected. The similar output path is needed from sign up or in passkeys, because we want to check if the user's phone number is verified or not. And if the user's phone number is not verified, we need to do the same thing. So we can actually connect it right here. Oops, not here. So we can come in here. Is the phone number verified or not? And if the phone number is not verified, then we need to verify the user's phone number. So let's go ahead and verify it. Action. We already have a built-in action called update user phone number. Update user OTP SMS updates a user's phone number. Before that, we verify it with an OTP. Very important. For security, we do this. And at this point of time, you can connect and the login is done. That's in that scenario, we connected, updated the phone number. But how do we know if a user is already created before with a phone number and then they later log in with social? So in this action right here, we have add to login IDs, and upon merge, use existing user's value. This particular checkbox and choosing this option makes sure that if a user logs in with social later on, and then we ask them for a phone number, verify it. And if there is a user already with the phone number, we merge the identity. So just like that, we're able to make sure that any user that's created merge if the phone number is the same. So that is a very important step. Now, here we are pretty much done. There's only one extra thing, which if you think about it, you're building a biometric flow, I would recommend that you ask the user to go sign up the biometric in case the user is a first-time user. So you can add those flows up here after the verification. So let's do that quickly. So let's go ahead and add biometric to the authentication path here. For doing that, let's actually first add a condition to say, is this a new user? So if the user is logging in for the first time, that is when you want to enable biometric. Don't need to update it every time. It's a new user. We already have some condition. It says first seen is true. A user exists. That's a condition. Let's add a screen to prompt the user for biometric. Screen. Enable biometric. Enable Face ID is better. Switch to add a button. Continue. Now, if you want to give user an option to do it later, that's easily done by adding two buttons on that screen. So new user, notice that these screens could be named. So you can keep your flow clean, enable biometric. This is an internal name, so that's why. By the way, the same path should be followed for social. And if the user is first-time user, you could add the same section there, but let's not worry about that. And the last step is to add an action called update passkeys. So this particular action, update the users that already exist because we already created with passkeys. All right, so we're done. Let's quickly review. It took us roughly 10 minutes to design this flow, but what we have done is incredibly powerful here. We have added multiple different authentication methods, passkey, social, and phone OTP, very common experience for B2C applications. We have made sure that we prompt the user for biometric if they're logging in from an OTP. We have also made sure that if the user is already created in the system, then we merge the user identity if they log in from a different path, such as passkeys or social. Let's test this. So this is our flow that we had designed. We are going to test it in Descope Explorer. So let's start by putting the phone number and signing up with the OTP password first. Let's get the OTP. Submit. If you remember, the next step was to enable the Touch ID. Passed on this device. Let's continue using the Touch ID, and we are logged in. You see the jot response and everything else. At this point of time, if you go back to this flow, here we can log in with social or we can log in with passkeys. Let's now attempt to log in with social. Social login is completely seamless, as you can see, and it logged in really fast because I'm already logged into the browser. The next step is to ask me for a phone number because at this point of time, the phone number is not associated with this user. So I put in my phone number, get the text. And verify. And now notice that we logged in, but at the same time, there are two login IDs. In fact, three login IDs for this user. One is the phone number, the Google identifier, and the email address associated with the Google identifier. And if you go back to our console and look at all the users, the user already has these two login IDs merged. And we completely merged these two users seamlessly because the phone number verified was the same phone number. So that's a very quick flow showing you all different aspects of logging in with different authentication methods and very easily merging based on phone. Thank you.